It is Frankie V and Tati welcoming in Travis Thompson.
Hey, what's up? Thank you for having me.
We cleaned for you. We cleaned for you. We spent hours in here scrubbing this down.
That's different. You know
Let me get that.
I should start cleaning for myself. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to, but Frankie made me. I was like, this is a mess.
He said, I heard him say to his manager, like, if it's messy, then I'm going to leave.
He did not.
I don't want to deal with this. He's like, yeah.
Lies, Frankie.
He said, Macklemore told me if you walk into a studio that's dirty, you just leave.
Lies.
That is what he told me.
Yeah, Macklemore told him that. See, I told him.
See,
I don't lie. I'm trying to tell Tati. It's always truthful out of my mouth.
Travis, we're excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
It's got to be weird that people feel like they already know you because they watch videos of you and do your thing. But we've watched so many videos and we feel like we kind of know you.
What's it called? It does feel weird in a sense, but at the same time, I think our whole thing is we're transparent and vulnerable. So like, if you watch the videos, you kind of do get an essence of who we are. We don't try to be anything we're not. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question. So Macklemore, of course, you did a lot with him, but how did you get found? Because I saw your videos beforehand on YouTube.
Oh, for real?
I saw some of your freestyles. I saw you being you, and I feel like that's what people were attracted to. But how does it go from being a YouTube kid to sitting at a radio station right now and being on a sold-out tour?
I didn't even know I classified as a YouTube kid. That's tight. But man, it really I was in a program first. I was in a youth program that they put on at the local museum.
Yeah.
And the him and Ryan Lewis. And I was just a kid in the program. It was basically like rap camp for 3 weeks.
So Macklemore put on a program.
Macklemore and Ryan Lewis put on a program called The Residency. That's dope. It's called The Residency, where kids just come, they do workshops, they record, they do all these things, and there's like a show at the end of it. So he had saw my name and saw me doing my thing through that. You know what I'm saying? And I look different everywhere I go, so you can't really forget it. You know what I'm saying? So, and then eventually my producer, Tyler Dops, who I always work with, who I work with a lot, he became the engineer on Mac's Gemini album. So he was recording the whole album, and he was just putting my music in Mac's ear. You know what I'm saying? Like showing him video, showing him different stuff, and then eventually like me and my manager were just like smoking a blunt on the beach. You know what I'm saying? And then I get a call that's just like, how quickly can you put a verse over this beat? And I was just like big talking, and I was just like, oh, I can have a verse for that in 20 minutes. What are you talking about? And then they literally were like, okay, we'll come to the studio now. And that's how Corner Store happened. And then eventually, like 3 weeks later, they were like, open this Key Arena show. And then after that, like a couple weeks more, they were just like, open the whole tour. You know
what's funny about that, Tati? We went to that one studio. Was it with Paving Great Futures, where they were teaching kids like how to make beats and do stuff? Mm-hmm. And you had a bunch of kids that have these dreams, but they're sitting here pushing buttons. You never think it can happen. You went to a similar thing. You went to a class basically.
Facts. Yeah, no, I was a big like I don't know, I don't want to say user, but like I was super into kids programs. You know what I'm saying? Like I any open mic, any poetry slam I could go to, any writing circle, I was super into it. I was in a program called You Speak Seattle, which is basically just like a youth poetry organization. So like I was super into anywhere I could go, anywhere they were going to let me do my thing, I was pulling up.
So how are you finding these programs? Because like we're trying to, as a radio station, we're out here like trying to find these programs to give to the youth that are listening to the radio station. Like, how did you find them? Like, were you actively searching? Or
no, I remember, I specifically remember when I decided that I wanted to like perform for the first time, I just looked up open mics in Seattle. Okay. And then I went to a bunch of them. I did the whole trial and error. I went to like some coffee shop ones where it was just like some 50-year-olds kicking it, reading poetry out their notebook. And then I went to like somewhere at a bar and dudes were doing bad stand-up. And then eventually I found the spot where like like-minded kids like me were like kicking it, doing their thing and like progressing and getting better. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. People think that they know what a rapper should look like. They feel like there's an image that goes with it. You don't have the face tattoos. You know,
I don't.
You're not black. Not that that matters in the rap, but people do think that, you know.
I mean, it's black music for sure.
So, you know, how do you face that when people see you and they're like, oh, okay, or they don't, you know what I mean?
I think in a sense it can work to my own favor, like just on some privilege tips, you know what I'm saying? Like I think honestly sometimes like if I step up to the mic, everyone's kind of it perks everyone up like, what is this kid about to say? You know what I'm saying? And
what is this kid?
You know what I'm saying? And I will say some white dudes get away with being whack simply because more white kids can relate to it, you know what I'm saying? But like I think everything we do is organic and real and honestly fire. So I think that's what makes it.
You're true to yourself. We get that when we watch your videos.
And you are you. The first time Tati and I found your video, I mean, your record label came to us that you're coming in town, and I showed Tati your video damn near a year ago, one of them, and Tati said her son knew who you were. Mm-hmm. He's watched you. Cool. And I was like,
I have a 21-year-old.
But it's so funny because when I pulled you up, it's you. And I'm like, watch this. Yeah, she's going fishing. She's got a 21-year-old.
I have a 21-year-old.
You could be her son.
could be my son. Yeah.
You have a 21-year-old?
There it is.
There it is.
She was fishing for it. She was fishing for you to say that.
No, my bad. It didn't click until right now. You really don't look like you have a 21-year-old.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. Anyway, back to Travis. I know. I'm like, this is Travis's interview, and I'm over here fishing for compliments.
It is what it is. If I had a 21-year-old, I might be doing the same thing.
If you had a 21-year-old, that would just be weird.
Yeah, I know. I look like I'm 12 already, so that'd be a situation for sure.
So, Travis, being that we're talking young, you're not afraid to just be you. And when I say you, let's talk weed.
Yeah.
Can we
transition? I would love to. I didn't know. Whoa, for real? How'd you know that?
He don't know. We read it. He don't know.
I mean, everybody knows that about you.
Let's not be.
Whoa, oh my God. No, marmalade is like one of my favorite strains, I swear to God, from like Saints in Seattle. I don't know. Yeah, but we're from Seattle, you know what I'm saying? And it's the West Coast, so y'all get it.
So why is marmalade so good? I mean, everybody out here has the different ones they like, right?
I don't know. I'm a big fan of like Do-Si-Do as well. I'm an OG like Kush. You know what I'm saying? That's like the best strain to me. You know what I'm saying? We're super big on it. You know, so I try to chill on tour because I have like vocal obligations. But,
it's funny. San Diego recently became legalized with marijuana.
Yes.
And it's so funny because back in the day, true story, you're like, yo, you got that weed. Like everybody's hiding. Now next to my gym down the street.
It's a very weird transition, isn't it?
There is. There's one next, like a dispensary next to the gym I go to. Yeah. And it's like walking into a CVS. Like you walk in there, shake your hands. What would you like? He's like, hey, I have a headache. Here's Advil.
Every time we go to one in San Diego, we do like a whole sign-in process. You got to wait in the lobby for 30 minutes.
Oh, that's changed. If you go to one over here, you just walk right in and high-five you at the door.
Because that's how Seattle is. Seattle is just like going to get coffee. You know what I'm saying? You pull up, you're like, I want that one, and you're out.
It's like that. Now, summer's still kind of the way, but
I heard when it first got legalized, there was a crackdown of like all
there was for sure.
Oh, okay. Bad.
I think a lot of people, they got paranoid and they were like, listen, people could come in here and just take all these drugs and take, so that's why they
outside with straps in the San Diego ones too. It's different out here.
The
weed is great though. The weed is great for sure.
It is different. I think they get scared, but they're like, we're trying to make sure that everyone's safe while they're smoking the weed.
There's lines with metal detectors and stuff.
When I went to it, I was like, what is happening right now? Yeah, I felt like we were gonna fly somewhere. Are we taking a flight from the dispensary?
Like TSA.
Yes.
Wait, be honest. Do you smoke a lot of weed when you're writing songs and recording your songs?
Yeah, hell yeah. We're super. I mean, I try not to make it a crutch. You know what I'm saying? I would hate to if I got to a point where like, I mean, that's why I slowed down honestly when we were making the EP, because I was just like drinking and smoking every day, and like it became just like a by myself thing, and I was just like, what am I doing this for? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I try to slow down, but at the same time, like it definitely puts you in a good headspace to like take a step back and look at things differently. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like, that's where like the writing can come in handy.
And what's coming up next for you? I know you got a bunch of singles out there on YouTube. You got a single coming.
Runaways EP is out right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep putting out videos for that, but we're also working on an album that will come out in the summer.
Who are you gonna feature?
Oh, I can't say it. I can't say yet. But I will say no, but like you can see the excitement now.
Yes.
Like, we're working on some stuff, so like it'll be tight. I will definitely come back here in a few months and tell you all about it.
We have you on video.
Yeah, I promise you. Oh, what? Are you kidding me? If you invite me back up here, I will show up.
And I don't think it's because of us. I think because he said it's really good stuff here in San Diego.
That's facts. That's facts. I had a Cali burrito yesterday too that just like made the whole tour tiredness worth it.
Travis, you just said I had a Cali burrito and I smoked the weed. A lot of times artists come in and like, do you have time? I don't really know much about San Diego.
Dude, enjoy the city.
No, my manager and his girl are from here. Like literally Soma, the venue we played. That's at the neighborhood she grew up in.
Okay, so area.
We got the hookups everywhere we go.
Okay.
Nice.
We'll holler at us next time.
We're at Ortiz's. We're at Ortiz's, if you know where that's at. Ortiz's Tacos.
Taco shop down there.
Yeah. I gotta shout him out.
Travis Thompson.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, man.
Props to you for being a cool dude, and shout out to you for being on that sold out tour, man. That's a big look.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that.